All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Tuesday, April 30th. It is set today by Chaos. I don't recall seeing that setter before. Not that I've been doing this that long, but we'll check 15 squared at the end and see if they mention anything about that. All right, 151 plus 10 confused customer question mark. Let's see, Roman numerals 151. I always have to think of if VIX x-rays look clear. So 50 is L, so CLI. All right, plus 10 confused. Well, I'm thinking an anagram of TEN, and we have client, another word for customer. All right. So let's go to the downs. For example, William Hill's losing billions following cold food. Well, I know William Hill is a bookie. So I think with the S, it's going to be bookies, but we take away the B for billions, but we do put it after C for cold. And we get cookies, which I suppose are a type of food, a very delicious type of food. All right, how about playwright, not parking in Berry? And Berry is capitalized. They want us to think it's the town. But I'm wondering 5 letters beginning with I, if it could be inter. And the playwright is Harold Pinter, but you take away the P for parking and you're left with inter. All right, covering initial investment using coin as capital. I'm not sure where the definition is going to be capital. Oh, it could be a capital city, of course. Or it could be a covering. Well, covering initial could be the first letter of covering C, but I don't think so, since we begin with N. Initial, isn't there a word for an initial investment? Seed, or I'm not sure. Initial investment using coin. I do like it being a capital city. I'm just not sure how the wordplay would work. We'll come back to that one. All right. Exhibits left on board. Okay. Yeah, left is usually L, but I'm thinking exhibits is a plural, so it would probably be a word ending in an S. Now, on board, I remember back when I first started doing cryptic crosswords when I was a teenager in the 70s. On board was one of the first tricks I learned, where you have to put the word inside of S and S. I think stands for steamship, and so by putting it within the SS, you are punningly putting it on board. So could it be a word for left, as in remains, or I'm not thinking of it, but I'm thinking something like this, and a 4-letter word for left. Oh, how about port? Oh, which doubly then on board does double duty, because left on board a ship is port, but we're also putting it within the SS. And so if you sport something, you might be exhibiting it or showing it. Not 100% sure of that, but let's try it. Sick men admitted into educational institution. I'm thinking it's going to be sick, and we're going to put something for men, which could be many different things, and we're going to put that inside a short educational institution. I want it to be poorly. I'm always amused when I hear that use of the word poorly to mean sick. I don't know why, it just always strikes me as funny. Of course, if you grow up with poorly, there's nothing funny about it. I do know OR is something to do with soldiers. Is it the something Rangers or? But I think that is some division of soldiers, which could be men. And then the educational institution is a poly, short for polytechnic. All right, how about send back coat over silent treatment to manage alone? I think it might mean manage alone, run something, and send back coat makes me think there's some word for coat that is going to be reversed, and that is going to go over or around something for silent treatment. What's a short phrase or word for silent treatment? Sending someone to Coventry, well, that's too long, obviously. Oh, of course, treating something can mean anagramming it. So I wonder if it could be the coat goes backwards over an anagram of silent. Well, if it is going to be run, could a coat be a fur? Now, a fur could be, of course, just a stole or some other thing. It doesn't have to be. But then it would be run and then something ending in an F, which it's not impossible, but just not sure. But then after the, if it is run, I think the other letters after the N would have to be the rest of silent. Yeah, I'm not... Oh, I do see you could have itself plus the F for... yeah, I think that's it. I do question fur for coat. But anyway, especially surprising to see it in the Guardian of all places, but there you go. Waiters and prophets carry Bible. All right, I think it's going to mean waiters. If that's the case, I'm thinking of servers. But how is that prophets? Oh, prophets could be seers. And of course, I start typing that. Seers around RV. Yeah, there's some. Well, there was the KJV, right? They are the King James Version or Bible. I'm not sure what RV stands for, but I'm guessing that's some revised version maybe of the Bible. All right, so far this isn't too terribly difficult. Let's try terms of trade included tender. Yes, so I was just thinking of the word soft could mean tender, and it is a hidden clue. So included within terms of trade is the word soft. All right. Oh, how to make a round table in the cheapest manner. This is one is almost like a joke, but you could ask your friends, how do you make a round table in the cheapest manner? Cut corners. I like it. I don't think I've heard that one before, so that's good. All right, now we're covering capital. Ooh, Nicosia, I think, is a capital. Is that Cyprus? Yeah, let me see. Is it IA, Nicosia? We do have coin as an anagram. I'm not 100% sure of that or how the wordplay works. Covering initial investment. Using coin as capital. Oh, I think the as is important as well. I think it's coin as plus the initial I from investment. But now covering then is doing work, I think, as the anagram indicator, but I'm not sure how that would be. I won't check the answer, but I'm fairly sure that's right. We'll see what 15 squared has to say about it. All right, very short dresses and short crimson pants. Maybe it means very short dresses, something like minis. Oh, there is a micro. I think, was that the 70s? Was that the follow-up to the mini? Vague memory. But then short. Yes. So the word crimson is shortened by dropping the N, and then pants is an English slang word meaning terrible. And so it's terrible because it's anagrammed and gives you your micros. Yeah. Okay, nervously making a bet. That's a very compact clue. Nervously. I'm not seeing that. How is it going to end? I mean, nervously is an adverb, but it doesn't look like. And then making is a, what do you call that? A gerund, well, not but the ing word. And this is going to be neither. Yeah, maybe it's something for nervously put together with something for making. And it's going to give us a noun meaning a bet, a wager. No, don't see it. All right. Way of rising to beat a lost race. I do wonder if it could be an anagram of a lost race. You have to beat it, meaning, I think, to beat it into a new shape, maybe. That's how I can understand it. Let's try the anagram helper for the first time today. And let's hope I click the right button. There we go. A way of rising. Something to do with revolution, or something to do with baking, yeast. Oh, how about an escalator? A way of literally rising. I think escalator is going to be in there. It's not coming up. Never comes up when you want it. Of course, there's so many permutations. Someone can probably work out how many permutations there are here. I'm happy enough though it is S S escalator, I think. All right. Oh no, where to practice cricket catches. Ah, I do remember in books I've read long ago, maybe, you know, books about school days or whatever set in English schools, of course, very foreign to me growing up in Dublin, but where they would go to practice cricket. I presume it's like a batting cage for baseball that you would practice in the nets, and catches is a synonym for nets. All right. Let's try a few more downs. Orchestra pits played extremely high. Ooh, 13 letters. Let's see. Orchestra is 9 plus pits makes 13. I think it's going to be an anagram of orchestra pits, which is a great anagram. And it's going to mean extremely high something T. Oh, I think we have, yeah, we have an extra T, stratospheric, which would be, of course, very high. All right, glad I didn't have to use the anagram helper on that one. Oh, nervously making a bet now begins with A. No, it's just not coming to me. Yeah, don't see it. All right, let's try it another down or two. Craft songs about sides in English. Oh, I wonder if it could be a craft, which of course there's so many, pottery or oh, what's the one with rope? And the wordplay is going to be a word for songs. Well, it begins with A. Maybe airs or anthems, more likely airs about sides in English. Ooh, I don't know what that could be. Sides could be 11s or teams. Can I see something where airs might go around teams to make? The in English part I'm not sure about. Unless it's something for teams followed by INE, and all around that you have your airs. No, don't see it. Party after triumph with ultimate in chess openings. Party after triumph sounds like it could be wordplay. Well, maybe it's a definition, but like a victory party, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be a party can be a do, triumph could be a win. Oh, yes. With the ultimate in chess is the S. Openings, I'm thinking windows. I'm just not sure where the other W is coming. Oh, the other W is with. So win, do, with is W, and ultimate in chess. And yeah, I thought it might be the name of some chess opening, but thankfully it wasn't that. Okay, back to the acrosses. Maybe Vietnam finally came to mind. Well, Vietnam is a war, or was a war, so maybe Vietnam possibly could be war, and then finally came is the last E. But then to mind, I don't see how where would be to mind. Ward, maybe. I think to ward something maybe could be to mind, but no, I don't see it. Details, if I see in glasses. So I think just from the letters we have, I'm thinking details could be specifics. And so glasses are specs. And then if is literally if, I is I. And we've seen this before, and I'm not sure what the explanation of why this is acceptable, but the word see, S-E-E, is represented by the letter C. Maybe because, in text messages, people will write see you later. But I'm curious about that. I'll see if anyone mentions it over at 15 Squared. But I know I saw it recently, and I was surprised then that it was acceptable. Anyway. All right. Shed tears with last shot glass. Of course, shed tears I put together in my mind might simply be a word for shed followed by a word for tears. But I am wondering if it is going to be cried with last shot. Last letter of shot is a T. Is it a type of glass? No, I don't see that. Could criminal man be hidden? And I was seeing if that was a little speck on my screen. There's an apostrophe after the question mark. Does that have a meaning? Or is that just the guardian being the guardian? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. It's a funny little apostrophe. Hidden, I'm wondering if it could be conceal. Could criminal man. Criminal man could be a con, but be hidden. No, I'm not saying that either. Back to the acrosses. Show cocaine smuggled into country by 3 on vacation. Well, we know vacation is a wordplay word meaning to empty out the contents of a word except for the outer letters, which means the definition is going to be at the start. I think the definition will simply be show, which could be a verb or it could be a noun. I do see indicate would fit, but let's see. And indicate does have the country of India. It also has sea. But then 3 on vacation, I think that might be referring to 3 down, which would be an N and an A. Well, let me put in indicate and see. There's cocaine smuggled into India. Oh, it's not 3 down, it's the number 3. T-H-R-E-E, you just take the T and the E, and we get indicate. All right. Very old, literary festival turned away louts? Now, I know there are some British literary festivals every year. Oh, is there one, the Hay Festival, Hay, or uh, can't think of it, but very old, of course, could be antique or ancient. I'm wondering if it is a word for very old, and then you remove the name of a literary festival, and you're left with louts. Or a literary festival, you remove something for louts from it, and you're left with very old. No, not thinking of it. Debtor stuffing pennies into faulty socket. Faulty socket could be an anagram of socket, which is 6 letters. Then we would have to put another 4 letters stuffed inside it for pennies. Well, do we put 4 P's? Of course, could also be a D from the pre-decimal money. And is it going to mean a debtor? What is a 2-word phrase for a debtor? Nope. Perhaps Morse caught over 500 people in the end. So 500 in Roman numerals is D. In the end. Perhaps Morse, I'm wondering if that could be code. Over 500 people in the end. We do have a D inside of it is code. So perhaps Morse is the definition. Caught from cricket is C. Over also from cricket is O. 500 is D, and people in the end is the last letter of people. All right. Let's finish these acrosses. Method of study. Drop core. Technical subjects. I'm not even sure what the definition is. Method of study. Why does it have a question mark? Maybe it's a punning method of study. But drop core, technical, no. Okay. Does swimming on college lake get stopped? But I am wondering, we've learned with these cryptic crosswords to treat every word with suspicion. And even though this looks like a question, does something, it could be does, as in female deer. But swimming on college, well, lake I'm thinking is going to be an L. But get stopped I'm thinking is going to be wordplay. But and we have seen something being, one word being stopped by another, which means putting the first word inside the second one, or vice versa. Sorry, if it's stopped by something, the something goes inside it. Just swimming. Does swimming? No. All right, where did I leave off? Just these two to go. Journalists want tip off To break hot, leading story. Um, well, oh, sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. So let me do that one because this one I think I have an idea. Journalists want tip off to break hot, leading story. I'm thinking is hacks. We've seen that before. It's a slang, I think, somewhat derogatory term for journalists. Um, and I think tip off means remove the top of some word. So a word for to break. Not sure what that could be. Hot could be the H, to break hot. Leading story, I think, is the S that leads the word story. Journalists want tip off to break. No, I don't exactly follow that. We are past the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to check this. It is correct, but I do not understand why. All right, let's look at the one where I was reading the wrong clue. Top of dried fruit marked with spots. I think the definition is going to be marked with spots. The top of dried is a D, and then we want some fruit, and it's going to mean marked with spots. Well, I'm immediately thinking because the fruit would begin with A of an apple, but to me, dapple is present tense. Mark with spots, to me, marked with spots would be dappled. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready for sleep. But I think that must be right. I'll check it. It is right. All right, but I'm surprised by that definition, marked with spots, dapple. All right. What does that do for our debtor? I am wondering if there's some legal term for somebody who's been found bankrupt or that they're in debt. Something, but then pennies into faulty. If I'm right about an anagram of socket, we have the O. We have an I here close to the end, so I think we could have at most have 2 letters here, so we'd have to have 4 from socket at the start. It's hard to break up the C and the K. So talk? No, I don't think so. No, not seeing it. All right. Oh, did hacks do anything? Very old. Yeah, it's funny to have H in the 3rd position. Very old. No, don't see it. Oh, we did pick up a D for the could criminal man be hidden. Well, it's not conceal. Yeah, I think it may be past tense, which means if it ends in D, then 27 across ends in D. Oh, does swimming, of course, could be an anagram of does, and I think it is. Ah, yes. And it's swimming on, I think college is simply C, lake is L, and then OSED, something is closed, I suppose. It's possibly stopped. All right, this one now. Shed tears with last shot glass. Actually, this could be concealed, but I don't think so. Cry. Cry something. A glass. Is there, I don't know, a type of window glass or drinking glass? Well, I suppose there are different names for different glasses depending on if it's a wine glass or champagne, flute. What are other words for glasses? Oh, or could it be a spectacle type like a monocle or not seeing it. All right. Well, I did well on the top, but not so good on not so well on the second half. All right, I'm going to pause and just run through the alphabet to see what letters might come between the A and the L, and then the L and the T. Ah, okay, so I got to F and a flutter. So if somebody is nervous, you might describe them as a flutter. I don't know, could it stand in for nervously? I suppose he did it a flutter anyway. And that makes, so that word is making. So making here is really just a joining word between the two definitions, or the definition and the word play. A bet is a flutter. All right, I can see that. Right, that's the top half done. Now we have our craft songs about sides. It's nothing to do with artisanal, is it? No, no. Could it be AIR? What other word for songs could that be? No, I'm not thinking of any. Let me pause and think about it. Well, I've resorted to wordplays.com, but there are a lot of words that fit this pattern with the A and the I. And I'm starting to see there's a whole lot of ways to interpret this. The sides in English might be the E and the H, the outer letters of English, although it's hard to see how EH would appear. But then craft might also integrate an anagram. Songs about sides. Sides could be XIS, 11s. I did see anglicize is one word that fits, and maybe in English, could that define anglicize? But I just then don't see how the wordplay would work, so I'm going to have to leave that one, I think. All right. Maybe Vietnam. What else could Vietnam stand for? Of course, Vietnam finally could be the M, but since we have the W, I think it's going to be no, the final letter of came. I think I'm going to put in where and check it. It is correct, so I just don't know the meaning of mind that could mean where. All right, but that now gives me an R, so that, well, it's not anglicize. That is, yeah, that is making me think it might be AIR, air, about sides, airfields, air something, air guitar. I don't think so. Let me pause and think about that now. Well, one word that fits, it's a meaning of craft I did not uh, think about, is aircraft. And so I think airliners, so we do have airs, so songs about something. There is the INE I thought I might have. Ah, and the sides are left and right. Oh, of course. And they go about sides. Well, it doesn't specify that the sides go either side of in English, but I suppose they can't give us everything. All right, now we're debtor stuffing pennies into faulty. Oh, maybe it's a socket. I never thought of that because I realized the first word could be power. And then I thought of a PowerPoint, which I think is a British phrase to somewhere where you have an electricity socket where you can plug things in. It would be called a PowerPoint. So the debtor is an ower, and that is stuffing or filling two pennies. Oh, and then into, INTO is faulty. So faulty did indicate an anagram. It's just the word into is anagrammed, not socket. Socket is the definition. Oh my goodness, that's fiendish. All right, we do have now, so method, I'm thinking, is a system. And I'm seeing that if you drop the core of study, you get S and Y. And technical subjects, of course, are known as STEM. And I should know what STEM stands for: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, I think. Something like that. Anyway. All right, getting there at last. Now my shed. Oh, of course, a word that begins with cry for a type of glass. How did I not think of crystal, being from a country that produces some great glass? Are used to anyway. Of course, some of the factories unfortunately have moved overseas, but crystal. So CRY is shed tears. And shot is an anagram indicator for the word last. Becomes STAL. All right, now we're very old. Literary festival. The louts, of course, are yahoos. Yeah, the literary festival is hay. How did I remember that? I must have seen it recently. And it is turned away or turned backwards. But so also is very is so, O for old, and then hay, and all of it is reversed to give us the yahoos. All right, now our, so this is, yes, so could criminal is an anagram of could, which becomes cloud. The man is simply Ed, and something is hidden. It could be described as clouded. All right, let's check all. Looks like all the letters are still there. All right, let's see what 15 squared has to say. All right, today's blog is by Eileen. How lucky am I to bag a chaos puzzle to blog so soon after my last one? So, well, that answers my question. Chaos must be a regular. Oh, spot the theme. Chaos always has one. A number of things connected with computing, software, internet, servers, Yahoo. Oh, of course. All right. So the ones I put a question mark beside were 16. To mind something, it's an archaic version of beware. All right, well, I'm not sure that's really fair to us, the solvers, to use an archaic definition. But anyway. And then, yeah, Eileen doesn't say anything wrong about if I see in specs, so I'd like to know. Maybe I should make an account on 15 squared so I can ask, and I'm sure some kind person will fill me in. Then I think I understood the rest. Oh yeah, look, code, system, all of that stuff. On the downs, 7 down. It is the revised version of the Bible. All right, thought that. 14. So it is airs round R and L in E. Yeah, I just not sure. Oh, hold on. Maybe I got the left and right mixed up. No, RL. Oh yeah, yeah. I think you have RL and then in E. So yeah, my mistake. I see now. I was looking at the wrong R. All right, and then 23. Oh, Eileen added an I think. Oh, and also I did want to ask about 20. I would have expected dappled, but both Collins and Chambers have this adjective. Interesting. All right. So what is this? IAC? Want. Oh, lack. Okay. Want with the tip off to break hot and leading story. Okay, I can see that, but very tricky to come up with lack from want. Anyway, anyone asking about the C? I don't see it. Anyway, someone else, Jeff down under, confused by where, just like I was. But yeah, I think there were a few very tricky ones, but overall, I thought that was fairly straightforward. All right, well, thank you as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed that and have a wonderful day.